Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the early morning edition here on Scottsburg Board of Public Works and Safety. This is 9/11. This is the good morning.
Good morning.
This is 22 years ago. Yes, since America came under attack. So a hard day for many families. And for our country, and we still remember that. And so we are knowledgeable of that, and thankful that we live in a strong country. So we're going to call our meeting to order today of Public Works and Safety of the City of Scottsburg. We begin by the roll call from Clerk Treasurer Jan Hardy.
Mayor Amick.
Here.
Karen Gracious.
Here.
Tom Lewis.
Here. All are accounted for. The next thing we have is the approval of the minutes from the August 28th, 2023 meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Karen Gracious makes the motion. Tom Lewis seconds. Any questions about this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much. We're going now into new business. The first thing we have is a new hire from our police department, brought to you by our chief.
To ask the board's permission to hire Robert Gudgel. Robert started in May of '09 with Austin Police Department, and he's served there as chief, and he's currently serving as assistant chief. He wants to come and work for our department. He likes to work night shift, and we have a position, and Robert would be great on that night shift because we need a little older people there to help out because we're a little light on that. So I would ask the board permission to hire him if possible.
I'll make the motion to approve the hire.
Tom Lewis makes the motion to go forward and hire Robert Gudgel.
I'll second.
Karen Gracious seconds that. Questions, comments, concerns?
His start date will be 9/24/23.
Is it, Tom?
Yes, let's just add approval for the $50 cell phone stipend.
Yeah.
And is that okay to begin in October since these are, do you want to prorate 1 week and it added in
Let's just
addition?
do October.
October?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Melina. It's recognize you today. And good morning, Jill. Welcome home. Chief, will this complete then all your positions?
Yes, well, this will be the position to fill for Scott. Our other officer, Sean, that we just hired, he got his uniforms last week, so he's out riding more, and we're gonna get him in a car, get him ready to, do some patrol on his own, but still be, underneath the guidance of the other officers, and hopefully get him out doing some of that, and he'll be in the academy in January.
Okay, in January.
Yeah.
And Robert will be starting as first class patrolman, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
plus longevity.
Okay.
Um,
And Dave will give the paperwork to our payroll. So, no
He's
strings
coming
start-
in tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Maria has it.
Okay, fine.
The academy is 7 months,
No, it's 16 weeks, I believe.
16 weeks. Okay, so it's come down a little bit. It used to be longer.
No, that's about what
16 weeks.
I
Okay.
believe it's 16, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But the good news is Robert won't have to go to the academy
We
later.
don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
Okay, so positive there. Thank you very much. The next thing we have is, did we vote? We didn't vote? Okay, sorry. We had a first, a second. We forgot to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next thing we have is the approve the recommendation of 2004 health insurance by Jan Hardy.
I will pass that to Marita
Okay.
Harden as she and the health committee, insurance committee met last week. So she will report.
Yes, we had the wellness committee meeting last Friday, And we are actually going to have an overall 8.3% decrease in our trust plans. That was approved. Yes. That was approved by the Wellness Committee, and I would like to ask for your approval for the PPO Plan 1 and the high deductible Plan 8 that will remain the same for the year 2024.
It's the same as we had this year,
Yes,
but it's less.
same plans but less money.
What it is.
What is that?
Yes.
That's hallelujah.
I make a motion we approve the plan as described.
Second.
Tom Lewis makes a motion and Karen Brishes seconds. Are there any other questions for Rita about this at all? So I'm assuming that the decrease came about by a lower usage.
Incidents, yeah.
Yes, we had a significant decrease from 2020. Our usage in 2020 was around 120% of our plan, and it's significantly decreased since then, resulting in a good overall
Yeah.
decrease. So that'll make a good difference monthly for the
Yeah,
employees.
absolutely.
Great.
So,
Great.
okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, aye. So unanimous there. Thank you very much.
She's got one more, the 750.
Yes. Also, to make a motion to approve the $750 employer contribution match for the health savings accounts.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Karen Brishes makes a motion and there was a second. And, so any questions about this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yes, thank you very much for that.
I would like to add one thing, Mayor, if
Sure.
if you don't mind, just so this board knows. Rita did visit with one of the local municipalities and, on some payroll, just to see how they did theirs, and she learned at that place, they give their employees nothing for no kind of match or anything. So thank you all for approving this the last 4 years now, I guess, 3, 4, that you all have served on this, because the employees really appreciate it, and they look, some of them have used all their HSA, so when they get that, that helps start that account for them. So thank you all for seeing the need for that.
Is the HMA still optional?
Yes, that, or the PPO.
So do we have a fairly large percentage there?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Most employees are on the high deductible health plan.
okay.
Yes, and then with that, they get to use the $750,
Gotcha.
but only on that plan.
Okay. Sounds great. Any other questions before we move on? Josh, any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. Going on now to sidewalk improvement approval of Pay App 2. And I'm going to combine the sidewalk change order number 2 as well. Let me go into the change order first, but let's hear from Emily and Jan on this one. Okay?
The change order is there's a section of sidewalk over here in front of Dietrich's law office where there was 2 large planters. The sizes are on that receipt from All-Star. But the mayor asked them to just cover those up because we had them taken out because they were an eyesore. So that's just for the 2 small square sections.
What we received notification, well, it was just, as Emily said, it was an eyesore because there were wooden boxes that were dilapidated, and the wooden boxes went down into the ground. And so once we removed the boxes, the planting were all dead. So once we removed that, it created a large rectangular or square place in sidewalks. So we put gravel in and that didn't look right. So we went forward and had them filled in.
Yeah.
So, and that was on a section that, we put sidewalks up to that building because where the library had so many salt pits to it, and it was just going to continue to erode. And we opted to clean that rest of it. It was still halfway decent. And then across the road, we changed all that. So, what else do you have to say?
That's all for the change order.
Okay.
Do you want to do the motions together then, because,
Well, we can go ahead, let's just go ahead and take a motion to go forward and,
$500, yeah, the change order.
yeah, $500 change order on that.
I'll make a motion, we approve the change order.
Tom Lewis makes a motion,
I'll second.
Karen Richards seconds. Any other questions about that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. The sidewalk improvement, what would you like to say about that?
Okay, I just need approval for the pay app that they have, Robbie, our engineer, who couldn't be here today, he has asked approval to pay $100,138.51, and then there is a retainage of $24,700.17 that we will ask approval at probably the next meeting. He does not want to release that yet until everyone has had a time to come and review their work. So we're asking approval to pay $100,138.51 to All Star
Is
Paving.
that, is that, I'm reading this wrong, man. It says previous payment was $100,138.
I know, and I looked
This
back,
payment's $122.
yeah, it's 122. I apologize, you're right, because Emily just printed this because I couldn't print it, so you're exactly right, Tom. That's $122,163.
So this says they're basically complete.
Yes.
We've already paid 100, so this, it'll be 222, 308 is what we will have paid. So why are we?
The change orders got it up to the 247.
Yeah,
Yes.
so why are we still holding the retainage?
They have not had a chance to look at it
They're
yet.
doing a
We're gonna
last,
do a walkthrough.
Okay.
Jill was out last week and they couldn't get it scheduled.
Okay, understood.
But we wanted to go ahead and get them paid because the majority of the work is done.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve this pay application for 122,163.02.
And thank you for,
Okay,
And
Tom
I'll
Lewis
second.
makes the motion for the second pay with a retainage of $24,700.17. Karen Richards makes that second. Any other questions about this? Amy, you got anything else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you very much. So that handles the sidewalk improvement and sidewalk change order. Now we're gonna go to the prorated clothing allowance. And by
this is for the new hire for the IT assistant that we did at the last meeting. This would just be their clothing allowance for the remainder of the year, September to December, and it's $168 for their clothing allowance.
Tell us a little bit about the IT assistant.
He's getting started, learning all the departments. We took him around and met everyone. He's just learning.
And tell us his name again.
His name's Kevin
Kevin
Creasy.
Creasy. Kevin Creasy. Seems like a very nice young man. Born and raised in Alabama. Yeah.
you know, they didn't roll, did they? The air went out.
And,
So who's the assistant to?
basically, he's working out of here as our IT. This was the position that Donnie Gent had.
No, Donnie Good.
Very good.
Sorry. Where did they? Donnie Goodenhead. And
So he's taking Donnie's place.
he's taking Donnie's
But
place.
who's the assistant to?
Stacy.
He's under Stacy.
Oh, Stacy,
Mhm.
okay.
Well, and then Kevin, the other Kevin is an IT person that's paid partly out of broadband also, Kevin Jensen. So
We
under
probably-
his guidance.
We probably have about 4 IT positions.
Okay.
But so he's kind of the main one that works. If Chief needs an IT guy, he goes out there. Mid-America Science Park, he goes out there. So, I mean, he's a rover.
And that position was created at the time, Tom, it was created was to pretty much take care of this building. And as the mayor's saying, some of these other issues out in the field.
I guess I misunderstood Donnie's position. originally, I thought he was in charge of it.
No,
Okay.
these are just, yeah.
And what else did you want to add into that? Oh, you said about clothing allowance. Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to approve the clothing allowance for the IT assistant.
I'll second.
Tom Lewis makes the motion, Karen Wishes seconds it regarding the IT assistant and clothing allowance. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you very much. Next thing we have is,
I can do it.
okay, go ahead.
We have a few things that we're gonna declare excess within the electric department. One thing is, there's a group of wooden spools. These are just left over from wires. And then we have 2 trucks, asset number 704 and asset number 1064. These are 2 trucks that we are able to, I don't know the term, but I guess trade in for some funds off of a purchase that Willie wanted to make for the electric department. And then we also have some street lights, light posts that he's going to declare excess as well. So just wanted to group all of those together.
And in doing so, that would give us the ability to then, to be able to sell, is that correct?
Yes, if needed.
Okay, all right. So we have 3 items here, light poles,
The 2 trucks
2 trucks.
and then wooden spools.
So when we vote to declare it as excess, it automatically means they're gonna be sold.
Not
Or
necessarily.
do we have to say that too?
Not necessarily, I think it just can, it's excess that we.
Makes it eligible to be sold.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it's
can be,
intent.
or it could be given
Trading.
to another department, traded or something like that.
Okay, so what's the intent of it?
The trucks are being sold, I think the posts are being sold, and then the wooden spools are being sold.
That was what I understand also. Mhm.
So I think the intent here is to
The
sell
intent,
this.
okay.
We've had some issues with the trucks and
These 2 trucks are the oldest in their inventory, so.
it's not,
Fine.
we're not getting rid of them just because they're old, but they do have specific issues.
I'll make a motion that we approve, declare this as excess.
Tom Lewis makes the motions on the excess inventory for electric department.
I'll second.
Karen Wishes seconds that. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you very much. The next thing we have on our agenda is the approval, purchase from Sourcewell on, the electric. This is going to be,
Willie is wanting approval to purchase a forestry bucket truck from Sourcewell. He's, like I said, selling those 2 trucks to get a portion of the funds taken off from those. I don't have the total price of his truck.
This one, trucks with the, sky.
I believe it is, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. And we were,
He had brought that to council at the time he spoke with them, by him being a non-budgeted department. He was, didn't have to wait, he does have the funds.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the bucket truck.
Tom Lewis makes the motion.
I'll second.
Karen Wishes seconds. And any questions, comments? This was an issue that we had a failure in the truck there. We had now, we needed it now. And so that's why this went forward. So any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you very much. Next, we have the claim approval by our clerk treasurer, Jan Hardy.
I would just be open for a motion to accept the claims as presented.
I'll make that motion to accept the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Karen Wishes makes the motion to accept the claims. Tom Lewis seconds that. Are there any questions about any of the claims? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you very much. There's something here that's not.
I had to sign, just approval to sign.
NISC is asking for my signature on a document, a decision point, or discussion point sign off. It's, basically just a statement stating that we are aware that our fund-based accounting, with Keystone is different than the revenue-based accounting of the new software. And, just a statement saying, it's a statement saying that the clerk treasurer's office had made a decision early on to remain in her receipt process and not let the integration happen between the softwares. And so they're just, basically it's a financial statement saying that we're not going to go that route, and if we are, that it would be a change in the fees later.
So this was your choice, basically, or?
It was upon checking, just to clarify that, checking with the 2 other places in the state that have that, it doesn't integrate into the software that is required by State Board of Accounts to do our financial
You have
statements.
it required.
I have a required format. This is more the accrual basis versus cash. So we have worked, and Melina has been very good this past month. It has been a challenge to get her records to balance to cash. So I have suggested, and we talked about it just over the weekend, that she get a hold of State Board of Accounts to see what will be needed from them next year in this transition on her part. Because I will continue to run my office like State Board of Accounts requires, and I have to report a financial report. So,
And let me say, that's great. I love to see you being proactive, not reactive, so thank you so very much for doing that. And thank you for all your hard work. I mean, this is, anytime you bring anything new in, you're gonna have 2 to 3 months. It's just gonna be a little rough sledding. Have you had any rough sledding yet? The smile means yes. The smile means yes, we have.
The smiling, she's doing well.
and we don't know what the issues will be by rolling over in the middle of the year too, so that's what we're, I know when the State Board of Accounts was here, they had even mentioned keeping 2 sets of books, so Melina hopefully will have time to look into that this week,
Okay.
because we'll also be bringing our software splits to this board for approval for our maintenance agreement with the one that I'm still using, Keystone. So we don't know if that we'll be able to remove that or not. So
I'll make a motion, we allow Melina to sign that letter.
So Melissa makes a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Richards seconds that. Any questions about this from Melina? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you there. What about the,
I'll need a copy of that, Melina, so I can put it in the minutes somewhere.
the question is like I was saying, anytime we start something new, we can expect to have a few hiccups here and there. And so my question here is basically, our bills were delayed in getting out. Today is 11th, I think. Did the bills mostly get out by
The bills were not late, they got mailed on the 1st. However, we had the holiday. The bills in the past we've always tried in the past to get the bills out before the 1st, but the ordinance says that we have to have them out by the 1st, and they were out on the 1st. It's just, we had the holiday on the 4th, which made it a little more delayed on people getting them, but everyone could view their bill on Smart Hub on the 1st if they had chosen to do Smart Hub.
I guess our question is, most of the people got our bills.
The 7th was when I think mine came in the mail, and the people that had been contacted our office, some of those that I spoke with, it was the 7th.
I got mine Saturday.
I got mine Saturday on the 9th. So the question is,
This past Saturday?
Yeah.
All right, I got mine sooner than that.
I did too,
Last
but
week
I mean,
sometime,
I think it just, people got them different times, but
Yeah.
they were physically mailed on the first.
Okay.
If they're mailed out of Illinois, I mean, I don't know.
Is that gonna be the process going forward, that they won't be mailed till the first?
No, we, like always, will try to get them out the door between the 25th and the 28th of the month, like we always have. But obviously, the first go was a little rougher on the edges, so
Right, sure.
we pushed it all the way until the deadline, just to make sure that things went out correctly. It took a little more time from doing that, but I mean, the deadline does state that it's the first. We have to have them out by the first, and they were in the mail on the first. It just, you know, some people got them a little sooner, some people got them a little later. But if you had signed up for Smart Hub, you could view them on the first.
There you go. There you go.
So the deadline is our own
Is-
restriction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that in our billing ordinance, or what?
That's where I found it. Yeah.
In the billing ordinance?
Mm-hmm. It says that they'll be mailed by the first of the month.
Good job, you have
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
not, especially for something new, you
Brand new, I mean, like,
hit the deadline.
amen. Thank you.
But I mean, it wasn't easy. I mean, there were some of our employees worked 15, 16 hours that night to try to get everything processed. But I mean, obviously our goal is to always get them out earlier than that, which is what the customers are used to. They're used to getting them before the first, and they deserve to have them before the first. Just
You know, so I mean, the late fee begins on the 15th, is that correct?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we apply the penalties on the 16th.
Okay.
I mean, if they have all day on the 15th, also through the night box, or if they come in the mail, we usually if the mail's post stamped by the 15th, then
Okay.
we'll accept that as in. But I mean, if you think that because, I mean, I don't know, if the board wants to remove those penalties this month, we can do that.
All right, let's just say if it was put out on the day that it was mailed out, on the day that it was supposed to be, let's just see what, you know.
I mean, I know we have had people call even today that still haven't gotten theirs.
Really?
So, mhm.
Wow.
I mean, it's also, today's the 11th.
Didn't blame the postal service.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So do you have a large percentage of the population that are on the Smart Hub?
Yes, we are getting a very large percentage. Yeah. We have probably 3,000 some accounts, and we already have 1,800 people on Smart Hub. So,
so we're half.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's good. That's
And I'd say it'll increase as people understand and can get on
Yeah.
and get their things. I mean, some people, if they haven't even gotten their bill yet, the instructions to get on Smart Hub was in their bill, insert in the bill. So I would say as people get those and get time to sit down and actually set something up, the number will increase.
Maybe let's handle this like kind of a water, but if people have a leak, you know, if they don't get their bill till late, let's maybe take those on maybe next meeting, can we do that? Is that possible?
What did you just say?
What do you think? In other words, if somebody doesn't get their bill till the 12th, 13th, 14th, or whatever, maybe we could recuse those for not charging late fee. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is that possible, council?
Yeah, I think you're hitting on it though, we need to wait and see what actually happens.
I think so.
Right now you're guessing, so.
Yeah, I think so too. As we go forward, we'll see what, this is really the first big month we've done this. So basically, we want to be pliable to help people, but, yeah. So let's just try it like that.
Okay.
Sounds good. what I'm hearing though, Blaine, I've heard a tremendous amount of people who are very much appreciative and thankful that this technology is here.
Yeah,
And, so thank you for all your hard work.
we have had a lot of positive feedback. And I mean, as goes with that, you get some, some people don't like change, but, and then we're gonna try to get the dates out that we'll be able, here soon on some training. Tyson and I are getting together to do that, so.
That was the next thing I was gonna ask you, so thank you. So have you set a date for that yet?
We have not set a date. Tyson and I are supposed to get together and see about what dates look best for him and
Okay.
things. We wanted to make sure that we wait until everybody did get their first bill before we give classes, but,
So at this point, we really don't know who's not gotten the bills yet. Really, right? For sure.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any way to know, other than when they call and let you know that they still haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
But I did hear at least one person this morning who had stated that they hadn't gotten theirs yet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And if people don't get them, please call, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll, we can email them to you. We can help you get set up on Smart Hub so you can view that online. You can come into the office and pick up a copy. I mean, there's several different ways that we can get that bill in your hands.
Will the software notify you? I mean, I'm sure you'll have a list of those who are delinquent. So, yeah, so for sure. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Counselor, what else do you have for us today?
I don't have anything.
Chief?
No,
Rita? Melina?
I have some sewer adjustments that we can sign.
Sounds great. Sounds great. We have our distinguished wastewater superintendent with us. What do you have for us today?
Scottsburg just did recently finish the part of the SWIFT grant for the slip lining. We finished that a couple weeks ago. We're still working on the water line, it looked like.
Yeah, and so all of that's lining our 8-inch lines and greater.
Yep.
That's 80 years old plus, mostly a clay vitrage tile that is, if you've never seen the system work, it's amazing, They send a little robot down 300 feet from manhole to manhole, and then they have like a sack that goes over it, and they blow that thing up, and it puts everything back in place, so it's collapsed, it pushes it back up, and it's got a machine that goes through and just lines all that, and then they cure that out. It's a really amazing process. We all went down, Chase and I went down to New Albany to see this before we ever decided to do it. And it comes with a 50-year warranty that says 100 years. And you can drive a truck over it, and it's just fine and dandy. And New Albany said they had it in there for 7 years. That was basically almost 4 years ago now. And said they've never had any eradication problems at all with it. So instead of digging things up that are 8, 10, 15, 20 feet deep, we're able to line these things. And that's just a great technology, so thank you for us. Thank you so very much.
Yep.
Marty, what do you have for us, son?
The only thing I noticed about the new billing that I received this past Tuesday was that the Wi-Fi bill was separated from the other utilities bill, and that rather surprised me. But since I had the two statements there, I went ahead and combined them back into one check, hoping that that was the way they wanted that handled.
I forgot about that. I didn't see that too. Is that going to go on, or is that will all be on one bill?
It's always gonna be separate because broadband has to have its own account within ISC. If you view your bill on Smart Hub though, it does combine them together.
So on Smart Hub, you get it all. So there we go. Let's go to Smart Hub. Pay it all. So sounds great.
Otherwise, you have to, add them together to pay them, and bring both your stubs to the city hall if you're paying them like that.
Okay. Good. Thank you so very much. Carmen, you have anything?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Gary Rich makes a motion. Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned. Thank you so very much. Have a